Breaking: Obama's top general just made urgent announcement. There goes his legacy, by Liberty Bell for freedomdaily.com. During Barack Obama's administration, he did whatever he could to ruin America with his failed liberal policies. If Obama was not destroying the American dream by allowing illegal immigrants and Muslim refugees to flood over our borders, he was pitting Americans against each other with identity politics. However, that should not come as any surprise, since Obama stated during his presidential run that he would fundamentally transform America, and he did. Not only were the policies that Obama pushed inherently un-American, but he also did his best to weaken our country's military and in turn support terrorists. Now, a former Obama top general has come forward with how destructive those policies were and implored President Trump to not make the same mistakes as his predecessor. Over the last several days, violent protests have broken out in Iran that many are saying is a direct result of Barack Obama's failed policies. If you remember, back in 2009, violent protests broke out in Iran when the citizens were angry over election fraud and an oppressive government. Instead of Barack Obama taking the side of the people who were living under a tyrannical regime, he stayed silent and allowed the atrocities to continue. Now we know why Obama remained neutral during these horrific protests, and it all came down to securing his precious legacy with the Iran nuclear deal. Fast forward today, and new protests have broken out in Iran, which many are saying is a direct result of Barack Obama's failed policies for the country and the region, which has many top politicians call for Trump to do the opposite of Obama, including one of Barack's former generals. Here is more from the Washington Examiner. The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff wants the Trump administration to not make the same mistakes as the Obama administration and fully back protesters in Iran. Retired Admiral Mike Mullen said on ABC's This Week that President Obama should have backed Iranian protesters in 2009 more than he did. Now that protests are once again roiling the Islamic Republic, President Trump should throw his support behind them. We choose to not be as supportive as we could have been then, Mullen said, and I hope we can be right now so that Iran can continue to evolve. They have an incredibly young population. They look to a future that they cannot see. They've been promised change and a healthier economy. Protests represent the inability to deliver that so far. I think the support of them seems absolutely the right thing to do. Mullen served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from October 1st to 2007 to September 30th, 2011, working with both Obama and President George W. Bush. Protests have erupted around Iran in recent days in response to a poor economy and an oppressive regime. Mostly led by college students, the Iranian government has already killed 2 protesters and shut down social media networks that have helped facilitate the spread of the protest to cities around the country. Not only is Mullen calling for Trump to take a stand with the Iranian people, but so is South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who appeared on CBS's Face the Nation Sunday morning. Here is more from Politico. The people are not getting the benefit of sanctions relief, the Republican senator told Major Garrett on CBS Face the Nation. They are more upset with their oppressors than ever. The money from sanctions relief is going to rebuilding the Iranian military and is destabilizing the Middle East. Graham, who is regarded as a foreign policy hawk, said he would advise President Donald Trump to do the opposite of his predecessor in addressing protests in Iran. As a first step, the 3-term senator called on Trump to give a public address on why the Iran nuclear deal has failed and to lay out what a better deal would look like. In 2009, Obama condemned unjust actions as Iranian leaders thwarted an uprising known as Green Revolution after a disputed presidential election. While Obama gave increasingly harsher critiques of how protesters were treated, his administration was criticized for not being more forceful and direct. Since Thursday, Iranians have protested throughout the country due to frustration with a sluggish economy. If I was Trump, I would do the exact opposite of Obama, Graham said. Obama said, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to mess up the chance of a deal with Iran. Well, the deal with Iran has not worked. Obama has never cared about the people, but only what would make him look good for years to come. Instead of Obama defending the Iranian people who have lived under horrific conditions for years, he allowed it to continue just to get his name in the history books. If Trump were to take a stand behind the Iranian people, the Iran nuclear deal could end as early as next month, which would send a fatal blow to Obama and his legacy. Now, wouldn't that be great? Well, unbelievable what's going on. But we have enough problems here. I don't know what to say about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.